Hey Juventini, welcome back to the All Juve cast. I'm Alberto. Today we're going to address a question that came up on the last podcast, okay, season 4, episode 5, which was released yesterday, and we're getting a ton of positive feedback on it. And I thank all of you, and we love the feedback, and we love putting together content for you, Juventini, and we're glad that you enjoyed it. Now, the question that had come up, okay, was basically how does Juventus maximize what they get out of Federico Chiesa? All right. Now, with the match coming up tomorrow against Spezia, it's reported that he is going to take over and occupy the wing that was there for Juan Cuadrado. We discussed this in great length on the podcast. Is it the best to have those guys and just rotate it and stick in this 4-4-2 setup that Allegri has gone with so far? I've come up with a formation for myself individually that I think would be the best for us. And I spoke about it on the podcast, and I wanted to draw it up and I wanted to talk to everybody about it and see how you, Juventini, feel about this particular setup. I'm going to pull up the graphic here. This is what I see us fitting the best. And it allows us to have a guy like Juan Cuadrado and Chiesa out at the same time. Okay. Across the back, Szczesny in goal, Danilo, Bonucci or Chiellini, De Ligt, Sandro. Okay. Two pivots, Rabiot and Locatelli. Once Arthur returns, Arthur should slot in there next to Locatelli. For the time being, it's almost a pick your poison type scenario between Rabiot and Bentancur. I would prefer Rabiot. Rabiot and Locatelli. You have your three in behind Morata up at the top, Cuadrado on the right, Chiesa on the left, Dybala central as a roamer, also becoming a second striker, true trequartista. There you go. I think this gives us the best balance. Cuadrado and Chiesa have more than enough to get back and assist. Okay. Dybala can come back to assist whenever he needs to, just to fill in, just to give the guy some space. It goes hand in hand with a classic 4-5-1 defensive shell. It also allows us to counter a lot easier because if we're at the back, you now have Cuadrado or Chiesa that can break free from the sides on a counter attack. It just makes us it gives us a little more depth in terms of how we can hurt teams and whatnot. It kind of makes sense all around. In terms of your substitutions, Kulishevsky could slot into one of the side roles, but I think he would slot in a little bit easier in where Dybala is playing. As far as the wings, you also have Bernardeschi who could slide into one of those roles. You wouldn't lose anything defensively by any means. You'd also have Moise Kean. Moise Kean could play also from one of the sides as well as up top and be in the change up to Morata. I actually think this is the best for our players, our personnel, and how we're set up. I would like to see Allegri move to this. However, it doesn't appear so, and by the latest rumors, which I'm going to be covering in another video, it doesn't appear we're going to see a 4-2-3-1. He really likes the 4-4-2 base with a midfielder mainly using Rabiot on that outside. But I think this kind of helps us all around, and it puts the attacking guys in the positions they need to be to do damage. The one caveat here could be that we don't have a lot in terms of aerial threat in this particular setup. That is really the only downfall. Morata is basically it in terms of standard build-up play and attacking. In terms of corner kicks, that goes out the window because your defenders attack and whatnot. But that could be the only thing in this particular aspect. There has been questions looking at this formation as I put it out on social media to get some feedback that Chiesa might be able to offer as much, might not be able to offer as much work rate as Mandzukic, who occupied that role previously. But just because one player played it a certain way doesn't mean another has to. I think this covers us quite well, to be honest, especially with guys like Sandro and Danilo in behind those wingbacks there. They're very intelligent players. And Sandro, for all the frustrations we get with him offensively over the past few years, defensively, he's been somewhat sound. He has been having some issues sometimes with pace now as he's getting older. But if he hangs back, we should be just fine. Bonucci, Delict to clean up things at the back, Danilo, you know, I still see this being our best route, but I want to hear what all you Juventini think. Is it time to go to the 4-2-3-1? Should Juventus implement this formation? Do you like the 4-4-2 base we're working out of currently? Let me know. Love hearing from all of you. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop your comments on this video. Forza Juve, fino alla fine. Ciao.